This the Black Powder Podcast. Kick up your feet, lean on your arm rest.
I'll let you go ahead and introduce yourself because
Yes.
I want to make sure everything is correct. And when I do a video
Yes.
snippet, they got you saying who you are. And
Yes, absolutely. Okay. So hello, everyone. My name is LaShonda Hopkins, owner of LaBleu Tactical Training. I am a firearms instructor here in Fayetteville, North Carolina, and I do service surrounding areas as well. My primarily focus is the North Carolina Concealed Carry Handgun course. I also do one-on-one training sessions, coaching sessions as they're called. I do that as well. Basic pistol, I teach that as well. And basically I go to different shooting events. I love to shoot. Okay, that started out as a hobby, then it turned business. Okay. As you may or may not know, I am retired military. I was active duty Army. I did 20 years, 7 months, 5 days. Who was counting though? So I did do that. And I am a multiple combat veteran. So I served time in Iraq, Afghanistan as well. And I spent the majority of my military career abroad. So I was hardly in the States. So that means I spend a lot of time away from my family. But nonetheless, I'm not married. I'm single. I actually was married, got a divorce. Hey, it happens. And I have 2 handsome sons. One is 23, the other one is 15, and I'm a grandma too. So I have a little grandson. So, that's pretty much what I do. I'm sorry, I forgot the most important thing. I'm also a North Carolina realtor. So I'm a licensed real estate agent here in the state of North Carolina. So they call us brokers / realtors. So that's what I do too. Yeah. So my plate is pretty full. Okay. For the most
you got the whole buffet.
I know.
And I mean that, realtor's important, but when you said grandchild, grandson, I'm like,
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. That's really important right there. Okay. Because he's only 1 and he's at that stage where he's walking.
Oh boy.
And he's already trying to talk. So he's at that parakeet stage. So when I tell him, I'll be like, "Hi, baby." He'll be like, "Hi, baby." So I love it. And he looks just like my son. So it's like I get to see my baby all over again through my grandson. So I love it.
Yeah, I got a kid of my own, and I get it. It's like when she was 1, the phase that scared me the most was the rolling stage. Because you never see him do it. You just look up and then all of a sudden the baby's closer and you're like, oh, okay.
I know. Like this is about to be bad.
Right. We just gonna pick you up, put you over here.
Right.
3 seconds later, just back staring you in the face. Like, okay, this kid is resilient.
Absolutely. Yes.
And
indeed.
I definitely understand the divorce thing because that is ironically enough, that was one reason why I actually ended up in firearms, but expanded it from there. So I definitely get it. It is not fun. It is not cheap.
I mean, it's not at all. Especially when you're divorcing a person that's vindictive or petty or whatever. It can be a long, unnecessarily drug out process.
Yeah, I completely understand. I completely get it.
Yes.
But hey, we still here and we still alive, making the best of our lives and making a change in everybody's lives for the positive,
Absolutely. I love it.
Wow. And 20-year Army veteran with multiple deployments.
Yes. Oh, and I'm 100% disabled veteran too. So, and the reason why I say that is because just understanding as far as what a lot of veterans actually endure. Because, I'll see a lot of different clips on, especially like IG, but you see them anywhere, IG, YouTube, what have you, TikTok. And for some reason, I don't know why, but some people, they feel the need to speak on people that have served in the military or they're serving in the military. If they've never served in the military before, I don't care if a person served 1 year, 10 years, 15, 20, or 30 years, right? They still did what they needed to do for this country. You know what I'm saying? They made sacrifices. So when people speak on the military and they haven't served 1 second in the military, it kind of upsets me because it's like, really, why are you talking about something that you know nothing about? And just because you train with someone in the military, that is still does not constitute you being in the military, right? It does not. It's totally different. It's a lot of sacrifices that comes with being on active duty, with having to get up and deploy, at moment's notice. I remember my first deployment, that I was going to go on. And I say going because we ended up not going, right? So I was stationed in Germany. My oldest son was born in Germany in Landstuhl. And so when the war started, which was back in 2003, actually, March of '03, that's when the war started. And so OIF. And so what ended up happening was, Turkey didn't allow any more ground troops in. So because Turkey didn't allow any more ground troops in, we ended up not going anywhere, from where I was stationed in Germany. However, our battalion commander made the command decision to activate all long-term family care plans, for those who were either dual military or single parents. So my son was not even 4 months yet, and I had to send him to the States. You understand?
Wow.
So just what that does to you psychologically, what it does to you, because, I was still, leaking milk, you know what I mean? But my baby was all the way in the States, you know what I mean? And I know that's a little brutal to say. Hopefully I can say that,
No,
but
but
it's the
it
truth.
paints a it's rough. You can't
It's the
it's like
truth.
you can't really do the parental job that you
Yes.
mentally had signed up for, and then it's like you're
Yes.
not really being able. It's rough. It sounds like
Yeah.
it's rough,
Yeah, it
you know.
is. And
And
and it didn't stop there, right? It didn't stop there
Mhm.
because it's like, okay, went through that. And then when I PCS and ended up going to Fort Polk, when I was at Fort Polk, I didn't deploy anywhere from there, but we stayed training a lot. We stayed training a whole lot. So I was at Fort Polk for only 2 years, and we were doing JRTC, Joint Readiness Training Center, there at Fort Polk. So we were going through rotations there. I was in 115 Field Hospital at that time. And then it was just a constant, all this training. I mean, like from sun up to sundown, that's how it seemed. We were always training all the time. And so my child, I hardly got to see, you know what I'm saying? He was constantly either he was in, with a daycare, like a babysitter, because I would have him, at the CDC. And then also, too, I chose to find someone that could watch him after hours for me, so then that way, if I had to stay at work later, I was able to do that, but then had to get off, go get him, and then make sure he's taken care of, get myself together for the next day. And then, oh, by the way, got to do it all over again. So then when I ended up going to Hawaii, that's when I ended up deploying to Iraq for 15 months. So I was away from my child again and then came back, right? So I was gone from '06 to '07 for 15 months. And then came back, we deployed again from '08 to '09 for 12 months. So it was just a lot. It was really a lot, you know.
wow.
Yeah.
And I definitely can understand why you're saying that people that
Hmm.
haven't served in the first place don't really need to open their mouth on things they don't know about. Uh,
Right, because it's a lot that comes along with it. It's more to it than just like, and I see it a lot in this two-way space.
mhm.
People they'll go out here and shoot. You see them shooting, but how many of them are actually leaving their families for 15 to 12 months?
Right.
How many
And
of
honestly,
how
I
many
think
can actually leave their children for that amount of time
mm,
and be
I really
psychologically
think
okay with it? I'm sorry.
right. I no, you're okay. I mean, you got to get it out. I get it. But
I'm sorry.
it's no. I mean, honestly, I would be kind of hard pressed to find a veteran or active service member that doesn't touch a nerve on, you know.
Yeah.
Um, honestly, I think the problem is it's a two-part problem in my opinion because
Yeah.
on one hand, military has been kind of glamorized in a two-way space because you've got military influencers. You know,
Right.
your two lambs, running tactical, Warrior Poet Society, so on and so forth.
Right.
But you also have people who may have embellished, their military records. I mean, right now you look at Tim Kennedy and people are all like, okay, so you took 30 grenades to go fight this guy? 30?
Right. Right.
So, and the
Right.
sad thing is like the civilian population, who you've got most of those people that are trying to do stolen valor, and then most of those people that actually respect the military still, and then you got the people who don't respect the military. I mean, you just get this weird mix of like uh online professionals. I call them like
Right.
YouTube PhDs who have degrees in
Right.
face psychology or something, you know. At the end of
Right.
the day, it's like it boils down to the simple thing that everybody says, like you got to find your tribe. So it's like
Right.
you find your
Right.
2A tribe, you gotta shrug off the people that are gonna hate, because honestly, as bad as hating is, if you ain't got nobody hating against you, I guess you ain't doing it right.
You
So
ain't popping.
right.
That's what they say. You ain't got no haters, you ain't popping.
Right. I mean, it's what it boiled down to. So, you
Yeah,
gotta keep it popping no matter what. You're gonna have
that's
haters,
true.
but
That's
the
true.
goal is you know what you're doing. Um,
Yes.
and it's funny you mentioned that, because like I try and stay, like, I like wearing green is my favorite color. I
Okay.
like 511 tactical stuff because
Yes.
ever since my first pair of 511 jeans, I've been wearing that stuff. I've been wearing their shirts. So like I ended up getting
Yes.
green 511 tactical stuff. And I'm trying not to look military at all, but it's 511 stuff. And
Yeah.
I'll never forget, because my girlfriend lives in Minneapolis, so I fly out to see her. There's
Yes.
this one time in particular, I flew out, right?
Hmm.
And I just stopped at a random vending machine that was across from a Starbucks.
Hmm.
And the guy that was in the Starbucks, I guess he must have looked up and he said, "There's a military service member and he's black. I'm going to give him this muffin." And he ran out
Oh
to give me this muffin. And this man, bless his heart, this man came up to me and he said, "Thank you for your service." And I'm like, I'm running
Lord.
away the entire time. I didn't serve. And he's
Oh
like, "Are you
no.
sure?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm pretty sure I didn't."
Oh wow.
I
Oh
ain't getting hit with
wow.
that stolen valor muffin, okay? Not that day, not today, not any day. So,
Right.
because I got
Right.
way too much respect for our military service, just people who serve in the military in general, because I'm not trying to be that dude that's doing stolen valor, you know.
Right.
Especially if
Absolutely.
I have family members of the military, I got
Yeah.
friends of the military, but I never served. I'm not about to hit that mentality. Even if I'm with
Yes.
somebody who's been to the military, and like, let's say I'm at the
Hmm.
range, that doesn't make me you know, a flying eagle or a colonel, whatever the heck you want to call me. It's like that doesn't make me that at all. I'm
Right.
just a regular
Absolutely.
dude who likes to shoot guns.
Absolutely. And the thing is too, once I retired, because I've been retired now from active duty from since 2017. So I just literally hit 9 years of being retired. So because I joined when I
Congrats.
was 17, I retired at 38. I'm 47 now. So the
Wow.
thing, yeah, so I went in straight after high school, I joined the military. So, but now as a civilian, and going to the range is different because even the process of going to the range when you're on active duty versus being a civilian is different. On active duty you're getting up at dark 30 to go and
Mhm.
draw your firearm from the arms room, then it's a bunch of hurry up and wait, and then you do get out to the range, and then you got to set up, and then after you set up then you got to get into your firing orders, and then once you get into your firing order then you got to zero, then after you zero then you got to go qualify. So it's just an all day process, right? Whereas as a civilian,
Yeah,
you just go to the range, you shoot, pop, 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 pop. Once you're done, you can leave. You can stay as long or as least a time as you want. You know what I mean?
that's true.
So it's different, So
Yeah, one is just on our side is leisure. In the military, it's like you need to know how to
yes,
do this, which makes
yes,
sense.
absolutely. And that's the reason why I say it's different. It's
Mhm.
just different. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, I definitely agree. And yeah,
mhm.
100%. It is completely different.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. I don't know how to,
How to say it? Yes, it's different. It's totally different.
you want to look out to the look at the camera and say, "Stop faking the phone.
Stop taking the phone.
Leave the military alone."
Leave the military alone. No, for real. Because let me tell you let me tell you really why I said that. So I seen this video the other day. I can't remember the female's name, but I seen the video the other day, and she was like, she was at the range and it was a military guy there. And let's be clear, just because a person served in the military, just because a person is a law enforcement officer, that does not mean that they know how to shoot. That's a fact.
Right.
That is a fact because it depends on what their career field was, right? It
Mhm.
depends on the budget that their said organization had, how often they went to the range. I know when I was on active duty, it was only required for you to qualify once a year.
Mhm.
Now I heard they changed it to twice a year, but still, twice a year, that's still not enough to me. Now, as a civilian that shoots all the time, that's still not enough. I feel like it should be more. But the point is that I get it. So back to the young lady. So she was at the range and she said this military guy just came up and was talking to her or whatever, right? And you see that all the time, especially when you're female, you're at the range, you're minding your business, and here comes somebody that just want to give you unsolicited advice. Like, dude, I ain't even talking to you. Just say hi and keep it moving. Yeah. But they would have come up, give you unsolicited advice. So he proceeds to tell the young lady that, hey, okay, he has this particular firearm and he was with his wife. And the wife was like, yeah, oh, he served in the military and all this other stuff. And the female, she was like, oh, yeah, well, I told him to thank you for your service. But, I hate when military people, like come up, because I know military people that can't shoot or whatever. So, it's just like, thank you for your service. But, and I was just like, it was how I think it wasn't necessarily what she said, it was how she said it, right? And so when I'm looking like, boo, you couldn't join the military if your life depended on it, though. You understand what I'm saying? Because first of all, in the military, they have certain standards that you got to meet. Number one, the average civilian can't walk half a mile with a cell phone in their hand, let alone walking 12 miles under 3 hours, right? With your freaking 40 to 50 pound ruck, with your freaking rifle, and with your full load on. The average civilian cannot do that, So when I hear comments like that, I'm just like, oh my God, somebody come get her. Somebody come get her. Please come get her.
What was it? Was it just his approach, or was it just like, did he approach her as a regular person, or was he just being neutral? Oh, wow. Okay.
So I'll have to find a video because I think I saved it. I'll send it to you so you can see what I'm talking about. It was just the whole delivery of it. And it was just like how she said, oh, well, thank you for your service. People pacify sometimes and they say that to veterans, right? Just to like, I don't know. Like I said, it's how they say it. If a civilian says, hey, thank you for your service, I appreciate what you're doing, or whatever, you know what I mean? If they say it in a manner where you can tell they sincerely mean it, as opposed to, oh, well, thank you for your service. You know what I mean? Like saying it sarcastically or in a condescending way, right? Whereas none of us would be able to bear the freedoms that we do if it wasn't for those veterans that have served, in wars prior to us, the ones that I've served, OIF, OEF, and even we on the brink right now. You know what I'm saying? So, you definitely have to, give the respect to those who have served and those who are serving.
I think I hate to say it, and I even hate to bring this whole thing up, but I honestly think it might have been a little bit more than just the military background, because the type of time period we live in now, and I just turned 41, so I'm starting to sound old, but nonetheless, the type of time period we live in now is it's like most women don't like any man to come up and explain anything to them, especially if it's like they're in an environment where they're doing something that normally they wouldn't do and they're by themselves. And granted, she could have been doing it completely wrong. She because like, for example, she could have been holding the firearm where the slide, like this is just a grip, but nonetheless, let's say that her thumb was like this, where the slide is automatically going to push that thumb back, and it's not going to be a good time for her.
Yeah.
If I saw something like that, I probably would jump, just like anybody else would jump in. I mean, granted, I did like an RSO course online. I haven't really had a chance to get the RSO experience yet, but nonetheless, whether or not you're RSO, as a regular attendee of a range, if you see somebody do that, you're going to be like, hey, look, you don't want to do that because you'd like to keep your thumb. However,
that female, I'm sorry.
No, you're okay. Go ahead.
That female was an instructor, though.
Oof.
She was an instructor. So I don't know why. No, she was an instructor. So that's why I'm like, it was. Yeah. And so let's get to it. That's exactly right. As I was listening to her video, and I promise you, once we get off of this podcast, I'm going to send it to you because I did save it. I remember saving it. So I'm going to send it to you. So then that way you can see what I'm talking about. Yes. So, and the point is that ego does play a lot, in this 2A space, period. Right. You see it all the time. And so being a female, right? And in particular, being a Black female, you know? So in this 2A space, usually what I encounter when I go to a range, even if I'm there minding my business, what I typically encounter, you'll always get a guy that wants to come up and say something to you or try to spark a conversation, right? And then it's like they try to nitpick you or try to pick you apart to try to see what it is that you know, or just to try to intimidate you in some kind of way. I've experienced that, you know, being a female firearms instructor. And I'm just like, what? Like, let me give you an example. When I first started LaBleu Tactical Training back in 2021, right? So when I first started it, and the first range that I was affiliated with, it was MOR Gun Club, which is here in Fayetteville. So, and it was this guy, and I didn't know him from anywhere, but it was this little guy. And he had like the Napoleon complex, right? And so I remember him coming up to me and he was like, oh, well, I don't know, you know, how much money you think you'll make being a firearms instructor. Now, first of all, I don't even know this guy, right? So why are we even talking about how much money? First of all, I started LaBleu Tactical Training because I love to shoot. So it was a hobby turned business. You know, I was already good. You know, I'm not, you know what I'm saying? This isn't like how I pay my bills. Let's be clear. You know, so that's why I was like, what?
First hater.
So it was projection. It was projection because I'm looking like, dude, why are you even talking to me about that? Right. And so, and then that was just a piece of it. And then it was like, you know, he would always have something to say when I would come out to the range. And then that, you know, like just nitpicking and, oh, well, you're going to have to be tactical if you want to call your business LaBleu Tactical Training. I said, why are you worried about my business? Mind your business, right? Like you don't have to worry about nothing I got going on because then they got nothing to do with you, right? You know what I mean? So things like that. So I just think oftentimes in this space, people just step out of bounds, right? And they get out of their lane and they worry about what someone else is doing so much to the point where it's like you can tell that they're hating. You can tell that they are intimidated by your presence. You know, people can see the potential in you before you see the potential in you. Believe that. So when you step on the scene and you got your stuff together, you know, and you out there, you're confident, right? Because the thing is that when you see me, you don't see nothing that I told you today. You don't see a retired, you know, 20-year veteran. You don't see a realtor just looking at me. You don't see a 100% disabled veteran just looking at me. You don't see that. What you do see is a Black female. That's all you see when you see me, right? And so, and with that, it's like, okay, people, they take their biases, their own biases, and they just run with it. And then they try to project whatever it is that they got going on onto you. And it has nothing to do with you.
Well, I'm just going to go ahead and be blunt and say it. They don't really expect Black people in the space.
No.
Regardless. I mean, the 2A was made for everybody, but the minute that not everybody, and I hate having to say not everybody, but
I know.
You know, it just for the safety of
politically correct. Absolutely, not everyone.
Know, he said, like,
I know, and she agreed. Right? And she agreed. You know, what I'm saying?
Black Panther podcast canceled.
Right. Don't support LaBleu Tactical Training.
But it's like I've had interactions with white people that and people of other color too, don't get me wrong, but I've had interactions where I'd say a good 90% of the time, if not 95% of the time, they've been positive. There hasn't been any hate. It's like, hey, look, you're doing a firearm thing, I'm doing a firearm thing. Cool. Let's rock. And on the other side of that, you know, whether it's being in like major firearm events, NRA, SHOT Show, so on and so forth, and especially in certain ranges / stores. Shout out to you, Adventure Outdoors. Yeah. Anyway, I've had negative interactions before where I've been like, I'm just trying to get in and get a box of ammo, or I'm just trying to ask you about a
Right.
product or whatever, uh whenever that happens and I don't get like the full, and I'm not asking for respect, but if anything,
Right.
I'm here looking at your product as a
Right.
potential customer, no
Right.
matter if it's dealing with firearms, ammunition, or if I'm just, going through the aisles in your store.
Right.
I'm here as a customer. And
Mm-hmm.
if you don't want me as a customer, just say right off the bat, you don't want me as a customer, but don't have me
That's
sitting here
right.
looking like an idiot, completely clueless, like, hey,
Right.
we doing this or not? And
Right.
on the flip side of that, though, I will say that the one of the most positive interactions I've had was at a range.
Okay.
It used to be called God, what was it called? Not Stoddard's. No, it was Stoddard's. They changed the name of it. So
Okay.
yeah, but it was Stoddard's Range and Gun up in Atlanta on Bishop Street.
Yes, I went there. I went there because
They
EDC
yeah
Key. I went there with EDC Key before. Yes.
yeah they changed the name of it, but yeah, so you know the
Yes.
exact location.
I
It's a
know the
nice
exact location you're
location.
talking about.
Yeah, everybody gets along, everybody shoots there.
Yes.
Um, Went there. There are these two guys. They were testing out like the PSA dagger and a micro, and I
Okay.
was shooting my I was shooting my Springfield Hellion. I love that thing.
I love mine too.
Oh my,
I
oh,
love my
we gonna we gonna
bullpup. I love it.
we we gonna get to it. We gonna get to it. But it's like it's a space gun. Not a whole lot of people see it. So like whenever you're shooting it, the person in the next booth over is looking at you like, hey, what is that?
What is that?
Can I
Right.
shoot it? you know? And that's what
Yes.
happened. We exchanged firearms. You shot it, fist
Yeah.
bump.
Yeah.
Nothing but respect there. It was cool.
Yes.
If there
Yes.
was more of that in the two-way space in general, color
Yeah.
aside, we
Yes.
could probably do a lot more as far as forward motion,
Yes.
getting a lost pass, getting certain things struck down, just all being on the same page. But, we
Yeah.
still got to do the whole thing where, ignorance is bliss, I guess. And people are going to do one thing or another. And
Yeah.
to make it come to a full circle, that could be one reason why you dealt with that. Or
Oh,
it doesn't even matter if it's a white person, because I mean, like you said, you're a black female. There could have been a
yeah.
black dude saying, "Oh, she never gonna make it. I need to make sure she
Oh,
does this so she can make it." I mean, or it could be another woman, because ironically
oh.
enough, yeah, it probably
You
has
just struck
happened.
another nerve. You just struck another nerve. Brother, you just struck a whole
I,
another nerve. Same location. Same location. It was a
Mhm,
female, right? I didn't even know this female. Still to this day, I can count on one hand how many times I've seen this female, right?
mhm,
Again, same location, MOR Gun Club. That's where I started out at, right? Instructing. And so that female, I remember I threw a Mother's Day event when I first launched my business. And the reason why I chose Mother's Day, number one, you may not know this, but I lost my mom back in April of 2001, right? April, someone launched it on Mother's Day. So this Mother's Day event.
right.
Now, new to the business side, I know now I would never, but due to the business side, I learned that, hey, around those major holidays, people are doing other things. They're taking their moms out to eat, they're going on trips or
Yeah.
whatever. They're not thinking about coming to shoot at a range, right? So I get it and I learned from that.
Mhm,
So at that particular event, it was just three people, including myself. So really two others. It was the guy that owned the range, it was his mother, and it was this female that I'm about to tell you about. So what happened, I'm thinking
mhm.
she's coming to support. Homegirl came for surveillance. And let me tell you how I know. Oh my God,
Wow.
act like she was so supportive. Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm gonna tell everybody about you and all this other shit, right? Okay, so
Mhm,
after that event, she ended up throwing an event because she was leasing a storefront. So listen to this. She invited me to the event. She was like, "Oh, LaShonda, I want you to come. Bring your business cards. I'm gonna introduce you as a new firearms instructor and all this other stuff." Do you not know when I got to that event? Homegirl did not even mention my name at all.
that's
And as a
wild,
matter of
right?
fact, she acted like she didn't even know who the hell I was and gave a speech like she was talking to me, right? But it was so crazy. But I still worked the room. I introduced myself to people. I handed out my business cards, all of that. So I did all those things. And as a matter of fact, made some really good connections because at that same event, that's where I met Dr. Joy Allen at. And she is phenomenal. And we are still, locked into this day. But the point is, it was just so nasty how that female behaved. And so as soon as I got in my truck, blocked her. Blocked that ass. You hear me? Blocked. Because I was like,
but I'm glad you were able to take at least find the cream that rose to the top. Because I mean,
yes.
the stuff that needs to stay at the bottom stayed at the bottom.
But let me tell you, but what was crazy was she ran around talking all this junk about me, talked about where I was instructing at. Do you not know that storefront is closed down? Well, no, it's not closed down. I think it's like a retail store now. So she's no longer leasing there. But the place that I started out teaching at, that is where she's leasing now, right? Or she's instructing now. And I was like, wow. Am I the only one seeing this shit? But okay, sure, whatever.
God don't like ugly.
So she came to act like she was supporting me, mocked me, then turned around and copied me.
Yeah, because I mean, in order to, I don't know what it is about the human psyche, but it's like in order to try and prove that you can do quote unquote better than somebody, you got to have somebody that you're focusing on. Because like when I did my interview with Samantha Mack last year, she changed up her whole persona. She's like just trying to make sure that she's putting something out there positive. And, she's all about firearms and women's empowerment and, showing that women can do it too. However, just like you were going through, she had another woman and, just to make sure that it's known, Samantha Mack, she's actually Canadian. She's white, She had another white woman start talking shit about her. And because of the image that she portrayed and how she came to the range and everything, the other lady didn't like her, so
crazy.
She started hating on her.
Yeah.
And it's just interesting because it's like, I think eventually, no matter what, people are just going to look up and be like, find some level of acceptance,
Right.
Because, I know people have to have a tribe to belong to, but at the end of the day, I keep looking at the Second Amendment space. Like, you got your people that do like, they do cosplay in a sense. So it's like, they're out there, they're LARPing, they're out there doing airsoft. Then you got your people that represent certain other things going on. Then you got your people that represent this over here, that over there. And eventually it's like, it's going to get to a point where people who are brand new to firearms, they're going to roll in like, who do I go to?
Where's my tribe? But I think what you said is a great point though, right? So it's really about finding whatever it is that you're into because, like I see, different things. So I see people that like Armed in Black. Shout out to my brother, okay? But Armed in Black, I love what he does. He does the comedy, with the guns or whatever, so it's entertaining, right? So I do enjoy watching that. Rambo, I do enjoy watching his content. But then, you have, like EDC Key. I love watching his content, because he's doing more of the competition shooting. And then Guns and Butter. I love watching him. He's definitely out there doing a lot of competition shooting. And it's a lot of others, right? So you get to see whatever it is that you want, to see. And that's pretty much what social media is about anyway, especially on IG. If you don't, or TikTok, Facebook, whatever. If you don't like something, keep scrolling. Just keep on going.
Yeah.
That's the unwritten rule. Just keep on scrolling if you don't like something. But what you see is, oftentimes people will say, oh, well, they don't like content creators. Well, everybody that's posting content, hate it, like it, love it. You're a content creator. If you don't like a content creator, then why are you posting online? Why are you even online? You know what I'm saying? Posting.
So it's good that you brought that up because, and I still got to get this out, but I did an interview with Rustic Arms, and from his business perspective, he made it make sense. It's not necessarily content creators per se. It's more so like influencers because when the influencer boom happened, it was like you'd have somebody roll into, and I saw a joke about this. It was like somebody rolled into a hotel and it
Okay.
said, if you give me a room for the night, I'll leave a 5-star review, and I've got 30,000 followers. Da, 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 and, it makes sense because it's like
Mm,
the influencer doesn't do good business for a brand because of the fact that they're not in it for helping that brand. If anything, they're in it for
gotcha.
themselves the entire time. So like
Gotcha.
one thing I'm trying to do that differently this year is like any brand that I've worked with and I
Mm-hmm.
like, I want to promote not just one time and one time only, because that
Yeah.
Rostic said it makes more sense to um, have content creators create multiple forms of content for that
Right.
brand versus
Right.
like he'd send somebody a gun and they make one video and then they got a free gun with one video. And that one video
Right.
isn't getting traction like necessary.
Right.
So
Right.
that makes sense, but
Yeah.
like you said, everybody can be a content creator. It just
Mm-hmm.
with great power comes great responsibility. How are you going to utilize your power?
Absolutely, absolutely. And the thing is too, just being mindful of whomever, like whatever content a person, posts, right? Because me personally, like I look at competition shooting is great as far as like, getting your adrenaline up,
Mhm.
and as far as like, being able to engage targets, but let's just keep in mind all those targets are stationary. You're moving, the targets are standing still. In real life,
Yep.
you're going to be moving and shooting, and so is your freaking target. They're going to be moving and
Everything's
shooting.
kinetic.
Yeah, so they're not just
Yep.
standing still. So again, it's like live action role play, and no disrespect to anybody that does competition shooting. It's just not realistic to me. But the point
Mhm.
is that it's great for training. It's great to get out there, like I said, and get you out of the little telephone booth, if you will, as far as like just shooting inside of the range. So I do love it. It's benefits to both, right? But don't
Mhm.
ever get it messed up to which where you think like in real life that somebody's just going to be standing there stationary for you to shoot at them, because that's not true.
Yeah, because being a professional hole punch isn't good enough.
No. you
Keep it
know
blunt.
right, you know what I'm saying. I'm telling you. So yeah, so that's the thing there. So that's how I feel about that.
It's like all right, I'm this the way this interview is going is flowing easily, and it's like
It is.
I want to ask the questions, but I'm like, part of me is like, so what about this? What about that? So
That's fine. That's fine. I love
um
this because this is more natural than a Q and A. You know what I mean? So
right, right.
because this way is easily it flows. I just did a mini class, if you will, with Black
Mhm.
Owned Guns magazine. And so it was myself, it was Sierra, shout out from Queens on a Mission, and it was EDC Key. And so we were basically talking about the alert mind, situational awareness, and so, and just getting the different perspectives as far as like, different things that we can do to stay alert, right? Because really and truthfully, everybody that's in this 2A space, they should already know your firearm should be your last resort. That's not your first resort. That is your last, right? Your first
Right,
resort should be to try to retreat if possible. That is your first resort, because the thing is that you want to avoid having to deal with any type of judicial system. You want to try to avoid that. So if
oh
you can,
God.
you know what I'm saying? So if you can just be like, okay, you know what, you got it. You know what I mean? And just go the other
Mhm.
way. Because if you think about it, really and truthfully, every single day, the challenge is surviving. If you think
Yes,
from the
and that
moment
that
you leave
goes.
out your house.
And that goes way beyond firearms. That's like, look, I live in Atlanta. If I
Right.
make it to my, if I make it to my destination, I've
Right.
survived. And
Right.
the amount of awareness you need to drive on 20 or
Man,
75, 285, I'm like,
man,
good God.
listen, what you talking about? I was just in Atlanta, like what? Because I went down there for Paul's 4 year celebration at 404 ATL Gun Club. Shout out to him.
Hmm.
Okay, another
I gotta
great
go.
brother.
Yeah.
Great brother. And so I went down there to support him. I drove specifically to go to his event. You know what I'm saying? So I drove almost 6 hours just to come to his event, right? But the point is
Hmm.
that much to your point, I-20 crazy as hell. Like people just speeding, hauling. And I was just like, man, so you gotta really flip the switch and just
Hmm.
blend in. Hey, like they say, you can't beat them, join them. You know what I'm saying? She just got to enjoy it.
Look, I-20 will definitely make sure you join them. And let me tell
Oh,
you,
yeah.
look, my mom said that her mom said that they've been doing construction on I-20 ever since she was a little girl.
What?
And here I'm, 41 years of age. I'm looking at 20 like, what y'all doing? And no way in the world you can't tell me this is a big money laundering scheme. Because I'm sorry, at this point, the way it has gotten so bad that
they just taking taxpayers' money.
Basically, I gotta drive. I take 20 every single day I go to work, unless by the grace of God I can take 285 with no issues. And even still, that's questionable because they're doing construction on 285 now. But nonetheless, it's like I don't know who designed this road. I don't know what they're doing with the media, but all I know is these roads do this, and then some of the lanes do this, and then I come home at night. They got some of the road paved on the curve, and then some of the road is not paved, and then you got bumps and you got no bumps, and it would be cheaper and probably safer for me to rent a helicopter on a daily basis to get to work.
That is crazy.
These roads don't make no sense.
Yeah, it doesn't. And the traffic down there. Now, luckily enough, when I went through Stone Mountain wasn't that bad. But, off of, the main 20, terrible as far as the traffic. Yeah. Terrible. So, yeah, but I love Atlanta, though. Atlanta, I feel like it's a great, I was going to say melting pot because I know in Stone Mountain is heavily Caribbean influenced, and I loved that. I love seeing that. Yeah. It was Trinidadians, Ethiopians, you know what I mean? So it was just a blend of just a perfect blend over there. And so I love that area.
Yeah, Jamaican, especially on
Jamaican, yes.
Drive.
Yes, Jamaican too. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna post a video because Sarah and I, when we left from Paul's Range, it was a Jamaican truck right there, in Villarica. I forgot the name of it, but anyways, we seen the Jamaican flag. I was like, "Oh, girls, let's turn around, turn around," and we went out there to go get us some Jamaican food, and it was delicious. It was good. Well, okay, it was all right. Okay, so like the jerk chicken was good.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, the jerk chicken was good. The plantains was good. The rice could have cooked for another 10 minutes.
Oh God! Look at least you look. What was this place called? It was in Smyrna, Georgia. Jamaican Me Crazy or something like that.
Oh, okay.
And no, not okay. Because granted, I mean, went up there around closing time and they gave us what they had, which they really shouldn't giving us anything. That rice was burnt. I don't think there was peas in it. I don't know. The plantain was just dry. You could have had banana chips that tasted better. Yeah. And that jerk chicken, I mean, yeah, it was bad. It was bad.
It was crazy.
I remember this. This was years ago, and it still traumatized me. I'm like,
Lord, that's crazy. Because the thing is, so here's the thing, right? So note to self, never go to a Jamaican restaurant when they're about to close, or any restaurant for that matter. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because the food's not going to be fresh. Not at all.
Better, but I mean, that's why that person's an ex now, because they made a bad choice. And I made the bad choice. They made the bad choices too. So that was their bad choice. I'm just calling it like it is, okay? Because I was thinking the same thing. You're gonna have me rolling up in a restaurant at 11:59. They close at 12 o'clock, and you're gonna think the food is gonna taste good.
No. You gotta just eat. Listen, you just gotta eat something at home at that point.
Basically, go to McDonald's or something. That would have been the wiser choice.
Right,
that's why
exactly.
She X now. Anyway.
You're so crazy. Oh my God.
I had to cut that out. Just
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, girl, you don't even know what time to go to a restaurant. What are you talking about? Listen,
that was look. I made that decision. That was on me. So hey, we ask you some of these questions.
Yeah, I know, right? We just flowing. Listen, it's almost 8 o'clock. I'm gonna tell you, we got 10 minutes.
Man. All right, so and you said a lot too. That's why I'm like,
yeah, we went over a lot. We did.
I know. It's like
this was like a therapy session for me, for real, because I got a lot of stuff on my chest.
So, I mean, sometimes you need to, and
Yeah, that's
honestly, I
exactly
think
what I need.
that makes a better podcast than like. So when did you start? What made you start?
Right,
Do
right,
you like
exactly.
guns? Do you shoot guns? It's
Right, right,
like
right.
yes, I'm here for that. Why else would I be here? It's just
Exactly, exactly, exactly. I'm telling you, it's crazy.
so. How does your roles as a veteran, instructor, and mother inform the way you approach firearm education?
Now, that's a really good question. I would like to say that I'm not like a lot of instructors, right? Like I don't use a drill sergeant approach,
Hmm.
because when you're dealing with people, especially with firearms, and especially if they're new to firearms, and if you are, talking to them in a condescending way, or if you're yelling, you know what I mean, and things of that nature, they're already anxious enough by even being there.
Hmm.
Believe it or not, they might be excited to learn about the firearm, but they're already anxious too, because you can tell when they go to pick up the firearm, some may shake a little bit, they might tremble, or some, they just, you can tell like, they're not comfortable. And that's to be expected because it's their first time. So just leading with patience, just and that level of understanding and caring too. So then that way, it creates, if I'm calm, my student is calm. It calms
Hmm.
them down. So that's the approach. And that definitely has a lot to do with me being, a former leader, also being a mom, and definitely being a grandma, because my grandbaby he just tests my patience all the time. You know what I'm saying? Because I have OCD too. So I like to keep stuff straight a certain way. And when my baby comes over here to visit, honey, he'll have my remotes everywhere, books everywhere. And I'm just like, oh my God. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
that's kids
So
though. That
yeah,
is
that's
kids.
children. So they test your patience. So patience, I would
Mm.
say, for sure.
Mm. It sounds like you got kind of a nurture type aspect to it as well, because like
Yes.
like you said, you with the grandkids and everything, you got OCD, but you also understand where somebody's coming from. Because I mean, everybody
Yeah,
had to take their first shot somehow, and you
absolutely.
probably put yourself behind that firearm as well anytime they're out there.
Yes. Yeah, and that's what I
So.
explain to my students too. I let them know. I say, hey, listen, you know, I don't compare where I'm at to my students. I think that's another, aspect where a lot of firearms instructors, miss the mark because, of course, you know how to shoot. I should know how to shoot as a firearms instructor. So that's not for me
Mhm.
to try to show them, oh, I can do this, this. They know that, right?
Mhm.
They've read the reviews, they've seen the videos, they know. So at this point, is to try to teach them. So it's about being caring and nurturing and just showing them, hey, look, this is what you do, right? And so we
Yeah.
do that crawl, walk, run. So I don't just bring a student in and their first time fire and expect for them to hit dead on center mass. I don't do that, right? I'm
Mhm.
happy if they are hitting the target because, and I'm talking about hitting it within the silhouette. I'm happy with that. And they're happy, being a first time firer. Now, the more they come back and we continue to train, then you see the growth, right? So
Mhm.
they start out from crawling, then you start to see them, walking, and then next thing you know, they're running. And so, in that shot group is tightened, right? And they feel so much better about it. And then they're ready to go on the tactical side because we start out in that telephone booth before we go outside.
That makes sense. I know. I took a pistol two class with Solomon from Solo Tactics, and
Yes, I know
I,
Solomon.
he's cool.
He is.
But I humbled myself because I
Uh,
hadn't got it. Like I said, it'd been like months since I shot.
yeah,
So like, and I've never shot against a shot timer before. I know I need a dry fire, but nonetheless, I
yeah.
had never shot against a shot timer before.
Mm-hmm.
You want to talk about walking, crawling, and running? I was doing a little baby roll that we were talking about earlier because like
Yes.
that
Yeah.
was where my skill was at. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know how I'm putting it on the target, but it
Right.
looks sloppy, and I could be doing a lot better. So
Yeah, but you know what? The thing is, and let me say it like this. So I know who Solomon is. Let me put it like that. I know who
yeah,
Solomon is
he's cool,
because
but
I met him at, oddly enough, I met him at Stone Mountain at Black Rambo's birthday celebration that Fred threw. Oh God, how many years ago was that? I want to say that was like back in 2023, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, and that's where I met Solomon, because we were all out there shooting, and then they had a competition out there, Guns and Boxing had came down. Shout out to Michael Williams. That's my baby. But so he had set up, this whole like challenge, if you will, where you had to run and he had his staccato out there, and you had to shoot. I think it was like from, I don't know if it was like 15 feet or so, something like that, but you had to hit the target. So, but in a certain amount of time. So they had you run down and you had to run back up and you had to run over to the table, pick up the firearm, load it, and then shoot. So, but that's where I met Solomon at, to say all of that. So yeah.
No, and these I really want to continue to work with them because my goal this year is to get my instructor's permit, and
good for you.
I don't want to be the guy that's like you aim and you put a hole through the paper. Like I actually want to be able to back up what I'm talking about instead of just like being the sloppy instructor that doesn't really care about what they're trying to do or what they're trying to teach.
Right.
Don't get me wrong, money is one thing, but I remember what got me into firearms, and then being in that type of situation, I don't want the person who may be in a similar situation to go through what I went through without any knowledge. So
So actually, the first thing that I teach is safety. We go over safety first, right? Because the thing is, before they even touch the firearm, we're talking about safety. How to not flag anyone, how to not just put your index finger inside that trigger guard, when you go to pick up the firearm. So we're talking about all of those things first. And then after that, then I go into the proper hand grip. Right. So showing them how to actually pick up a firearm, how to point it in a safe direction, how to place their non-firing hand, making sure they're getting a good grip. I teach them the push-pull method. So then that way that gives them more control when it comes to the recoil, when they do actually go to fire that firearm. So we go over those things. Then we go over the different stances. Then we go over sight alignment, sight picture. We go over the universal safety rules. We do all of that inside of the classroom before we even enter inside of the range. So that's what we do. And I talk to them about everything, where they should be aiming. We go over eye dominancy, whether if they're right eye dominant or left eye dominant. Some people shoot with both of their eyes open. But, for me, I shoot with one eye closed, when I'm in a range. Now, in a real life situation, of course, you don't got time to just be closing one eye.
Yeah.
But to be honest with you, muscle memory, you get right into it, because that's what you're already trained to do. Right.
True.
So, but I tell people you do what works best for you when it comes to that. So if you want to shoot with both your eyes open and you're actually hitting, your target, then that's fine. For me, I've just found it works better for me just having my left eye closed and my right eye open because I'm right eye dominant and I'm right hand dominant too.
Same here. I kind of do the same thing.
Yeah.
And I know one mistake I've been doing ever since I haven't been in the range is for some odd reason I keep because I'm 6'2".
Oh wow!
But I keep thinking on a shorter person's scale. It's like instead of just aiming for my height, I'm all bunching everything up and I'm getting lower, and I'm like my stance is lower too. I mean, I might as well be like it's like I'm going from 6'2" to like 5'8", 5'7". I don't know why I do it. I don't know why I think I don't even know why I think like that. It's weird. It doesn't make any sense to me.
I'm feeling a certain type of way. And why I'm making all these faces, because I'm only 5'3". And I felt a little short shade when you said that.
No, I'm not trying to short shame. It's like,
no, I know you're not.
I need to shoot for my height. I don't need to think, oh, the target's over there, I need to get down.
Right.
It doesn't make sense, but that's what my body's been doing. And my for the record, my girlfriend is 5'3" too.
Oh, is she? Shut up.
Yeah.
Hey,
even though
mama.
I'm gonna have to redact this part, but even though she's like 5'2" and some change, she claims the whole inch, so she's 5'3".
And you know what's crazy? She's 5'3", but I bet her attitude is 6'3".
Look,
attitude is 6'3".
But I can appreciate that because,
right.
I don't know what it is about women that are like around the 5 foot area, but it's like I've worked with a woman that was like under 5, right? I
Yeah.
would say she was like maybe pushing 5 at most.
Okay.
And she had the whole, like you said, she had the whole attitude. She come in, she'd wear like heels and everything to make up for that height. But when I tell you, I have never seen anybody that height look down on somebody who was trying them. Cause like I mean, I'd be at work, I'd see dudes trying. These dudes are like, my height, 6 something or whatever.
Right.
You're
Right.
gonna do this and you're gonna do that, and she would just look up, but you would see the height change happen. So she would be the like 6 foot one, and they'd be the 5 foot whatever ones, and she'd be like,
Right.
"No, so I can't
Right.
do that."
Right.
And,
That's right. That's
like
right.
nothing,
Like what?
nothing but respect for women that are that height that are like pushing like that, because like if anything, you don't mess with those women.
No,
Because if
just
it's
leave us
not
alone.
them that's gonna keep you straight, it's the people that love them and respect them that's gonna keep
I
you
know
straight.
that's
So.
right. I know
Mhm.
that's right. Yes,
What was
indeed.
it,
Yes.
FAFO? Yeah, okay.
Okay. That part. That whole part.
Right.
Dude.
Yeah,
Oh
shoot.
man.
But I don't know why I keep compressing myself like that. That's something I gotta train myself out of, because
Yeah.
like, you know, maybe it's just maybe it's just seeing a target and thinking, okay, so it's further down, so I gotta compress myself down. Like, nah, just put the arms out there and shoot it. Or as
Yeah.
Solomon said, once you put the dot on it, whatever you point the gun at, you can hit.
Yeah,
Don't matter.
absolutely. And that is
Yeah.
correct. That is correct. But see, but the thing is, it's really good to learn, shooting iron sight. It's good to shoot both. Let's be clear.
Hmm.
But it's great to shoot iron sight, because if you can shoot iron sight, once you throw an optic, on your pistol and it's zero, of course, as soon as you put that dot on there, you're going to hit your target. Whatever as long as you're applying the other basic fundamentals of shooting. So it's
Mm.
not just as simple as just pointing and just squeezing the trigger, because you want to make sure you have the proper hand grip. You want to make sure, that you got your stance, your breathing, all of those things, play a factor. So it's not just like, oh, point, shoot, boom, you're going to hit your target if you're not applying everything else. That steady aim, steady position, all of that is important when you are shooting. And then, like I said, most importantly, when it comes to green dot, red dot, I don't care what dot it is, you got to make sure that it's zeroed. If you get an optic straight out of the
Okay.
box, chances are, it's not going to be zero to you. So you
Mm.
go and you shoot, and then you see that your rounds are off if you're just using that particular optic that hasn't been zeroed yet. So it might be slightly to the left or right, but you just zero it, and then, you'd be spot on.
Gotcha. It's all about
Hmm.
knowing your equipment. That's what it boils down to
It's
at the end.
all about knowing your equipment. That is correct.
Mm.
That is correct.
It
And
sounds
speaking
like.
of knowing your equipment,
Hmm.
doing those function checks before you even pack your range bag,
Yeah,
just making sure that everything is functional before you even go to the range. So then that
that's
way, if
true.
it is an issue, if the firearm isn't functioning properly, then hey, if it's not something that you can fix yourself, take it to your local gunsmith. So then that way, he or she can fix it.
That's true. That's true.
Hmm.
It sounds like I got a couple of dates set up with either my Jericho or my Masada, because I know those have got iron sights on them, and
So
you know.
now listen, I don't have the
Mhm.
Jericho, but I do have a Masada. I love my IWI Masada. As a matter of
Which
fact,
one?
so I have an IWI Masada.
But which
It's a
Masada?
9 mil, nine
You
mil.
got the slim, or you
It's
got the
the
OG one?
it's the duty performance pistol is the one that I have. So that was actually, let me get it right. That was my third pistol that I purchased.
Mm.
That was my third one. And I love it. I mean, I put a Holosun optic on top of it. And so I love it, love it, love it, love it. And it still performs accurately to this day, right? So I love it. I train with it quite frequently. I don't train with it every time I go to the range like I used to, because I've
Hmm.
fallen in love with my Canik Mete MC9 Prime. That is what I love now. I actually took out I took out Glock 43X because I used to conceal carry with that one. That used to be my EDC, but I took the Glock out and I now carry my MC9 Prime.
See, I started out with Canik.
Okay.
One of the ones that I purchased was because I got several of them, but I ended
Mm-hmm.
up making my first purchase of the TP9 1 series, which is just like their
Yeah.
TP9 series without the RMR footprint for optic or anything. It's all iron
Right.
sights. It still has a pick rail on it, so you can do some things with it.
Yeah.
But as I progressed in I guess my career, I ended up getting a uh TP9 what is it? TP9 Elite Combat Executive.
Okay.
And I love that gun. It's not too big, it's not too small. It's like it's mid-size. You can put the any dot on there that you want. You can keep it iron sights. You can put
Mm-hmm.
your light on the rail or whatever, and it
Yeah.
just for me it feels nice in the hand.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, Canics are nice. Canics are
Yeah.
really nice. They've
They
got
are.
a have you seen the latest one they got coming out?
Now, which one?
So if I remember right, because I know Canik and Radiant have teamed up to basically put a Radiant afterburner on the Canik Prime.
Okay.
So the Canik Prime came out, I think, last year.
It did.
This year, it's going to be the newer version of the Prime, but I think it's called Prime Radiant. So they've got
Okay.
the afterburner, they've got the Radiant grips on the frame, and I guess it's supposed to be better than the Canik Prime. And somebody
Mm.
said that Terran Tactical worked on it, so
Oh, okay.
we'll see. I could be wrong, could be right about that, but we'll see.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Well, I'll look forward to that one. My Canik MC9 Prime, I did not purchase. I want it. And I say it all the
Oh,
time.
cool.
Yeah, I want it in Atlanta. Well, Villarica, right outside of Atlanta. But I
Hmm.
want it at Byron the Instructor. So shout out to Byron the Instructor. Okay. Gotta shout out to him. Okay. Because he hosted the 2A, excuse me, the 2A Summerfest which was held at 404 ATL Gun Club at Paul's Range. And so that's where I wanted it. And to be honest with you, I wasn't even there. When I got the phone call, I had left because I took my baby, my youngest son with me, and honey, he's a pretty boy all the way around. So it was hot as hell out there. And he was like, Mommy, I'm ready to go. Like he was sweating too much. He was ready to go. I was like, boy, are you serious? So, we stayed out there for maybe 2 hours, if that, and then we left. And once we got back to our hotel, because we were staying in Midtown. So once we got
Mhm.
back, that's when was getting a phone call from Byron. So I answered it. You know what I'm saying? That's the realtor and business side of me. I'm gonna answer my phone. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I answered it and but I let it ring. It was ringing a few times. So they thought I wasn't gonna answer. So everybody was around because I could hear them when I answered the phone. He was like, damn. Because had I not answered the phone, they would have went to the next
Somebody else would have
person.
got
Yeah, 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 yeah.
it.
So I was like, got him. Let me go and get that cat.
That's a nice gun to get too, because
Yes, it's for sure. I love it. I love it. I love it. And that was
mm,
another reason why, oh my gosh, that was another reason why I went to Paul's celebration because it was like full circle because I won the MC9 Canik Mete Prime you know, at his range. And then I went back to shoot it at his range.
nice.
Mm-hmm.
So being a realtor, and this off the sheet. So I mean,
That's
at this
okay.
point,
It's more
we
than
just
guns. It's
vibing,
more than
so it's
guns.
good.
More than guns, for sure.
um, being a realtor, do you ever find yourself in instances where you feel like you have to carry, or do you
Oh,
carry in general?
yeah. So I carry in general, right? So
Hmm.
that's what I do. But when I first became a realtor, I did receive a weird inquiry, right? So I had a
Hmm.
student that had came over on the firearm side, like over a year and some change ago, prior to me, obtaining my real estate license. And so he came through, and he was kind of weird then too, kind of weird, because he was like, oh, well, my uncle, he's a sheriff. I don't give a damn who your uncle is, boo.
Yeah.
You weird. You understand what I'm saying? So, but that's what, so,
it's
but
facts though. It's
the other than shit, that's no important to me. I'm looking like, hey,
right.
dude, I don't care who your uncle is, but you weird. So let's go and cut sling low. So
Right.
once I became a realtor, he, was like sending me emails and stuff and saying that he wanted to see on my real estate side, my real estate email. So that means that he was on my social media and he seen my information. And so, and he emailed me and he made it seem like he wanted to see a particular property, like right now, like ASAP, right? And I was like, well, the real estate license laws, North Carolina license law has changed. I said, so before I can even schedule a showing, I need to have that working with real estate agency disclosure sign, and we need to be under exclusive buyer agency agreement. I don't care if it's just for the one day, but I have to have those documents. And oh, by the way, I'm gonna need you to send in a copy of your ID so I know who you are, right? Even though I already knew who he was because I recognized the email and the name too. Well, anyway, long story short, the property was out in the middle of nowhere. In the middle of nowhere, right?
Nothing weird about that at all.
I was like, now why on earth would this ninja want to try me like that? Why would he want to do that? Why? So when I sent him the paperwork, he never signed it. So I never scheduled the showing.
Yeah, that sounds super weird.
Right.
Super
so
weird.
The good thing is, what I will tell you is, unlike some realtors, right? So you have some realtors that all they do is real estate, right? That's their sole source of income. That's not the case for me. Right now I have 5 streams of income coming in. So my thing is with that, on the real estate side, yes, I love selling homes, right? But if I feel like, okay, I'm gonna take a break for a month from real estate, I can do that, right? So I say that because some agent would have still went to go show that weirdo that particular property, and they may have been unalived.
Was it
no
such thing as bad money? Like
no, all money is not good money. So my thing is, once your nervous system goes off, meaning you get that gut feeling or your spidey senses go off and you got to question, hey, what is this about? If you got to do any of those things, it's a no. It's an automatic no, right? It's a no. And then I even get weird stuff on the firearm side too, because like not too long ago, I had this older gentleman, right? He was an older guy. And so he scheduled a one-on-one coaching session with me. But what was weird about it was he, would send, like, he would type up a message on the computer, and I could tell, like, he did a screenshot of my website. And then, he was trying to schedule a one-on-one coaching session. And, he would type up whatever he wanted to say, like in English. And he spoke English, which was crazy. He spoke Spanish too, but he spoke English as well. So I didn't understand why he was typing stuff up, screenshotting my website. I didn't understand. It was weird. So nonetheless, I ended up, doing the one-on-one coaching with him. And, my spidey senses was going off because I even remember telling him, I was like, or asking, I was like, who sent you to me? Right. Like who sent you for real, because it just seems so off, and he was nervous. Well, he said he wasn't nervous, but he was shaking a lot during the session. He was sweating a lot during the session. So I didn't understand. And he was like, no, he wasn't afraid of me or nervous or anything being around me. He said something was going on, neurologically. And I was like, okay, because he used to box and all this other stuff. That's what he was saying. Well, here's where it gets weird. So after that, right, he ends up sending me this memo, if you will. And so this time it has KW at the top, which that's the firm that I'm affiliated with, Keller Williams Realty Fayetteville. Well, anyways, he has KW at the top, and then he types up all of this information about how him and I guess the female that he was living with, they had gotten into it. he was asking if I had a job for him, and if I could find him a place to rent. And I'm looking like, I'm sorry. This is what I said. I said, I'm sorry. I'm trying to figure out, what does any of that have to do with me? You know what I'm saying? What does any of that? He was like,
Yeah.
but you're a realtor, you're a relocation professional. And I was like, yes, that I am. I said, I help people buy and sell real estate. Rental, as a
Right.
realtor, we really don't, make anything from that. Yes, some renters do turn into buyers, but, like, best I did for him, I just gave him the information to a property management, company. So then that way they could help him get into a rental property. But because that's what they do. That's what property managers do. So,
Right.
and the point, and some realtors do it, hey, shout out to them, to each his own. I'm not one of them. So the thing is that when it came to what did he say that was extra weird? He was like, he didn't have any family here. That's what he said. He was like, he didn't have any family here. But oddly enough, I remember the first conversation when he had called and he said that he had a grandson that was stationed at Fort Bragg. I remember him saying that because he wanted to go to the range and shoot. And he asked if his grandson or son, whatever, could come to the one-on-one coaching session with him. And I told him, I said, well, I would prefer not, because a one-on-one
Because
coaching
it's a
session
one-on-one. Yeah.
is one-on-one. I said, now, if your grandson, son, whoever, if he wants to come, then he would have, if he wants to be a part of the session, then he would have to pay. It's not a one-on-one coaching session at that point. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's how I explained it to him. So I guess he forgot he told me that he had, family here. Because in that memo, it said, oh, he doesn't have any family here, but he does have family here. At least that's what he said. So either he's lying then or he's lying now, but either way, he was lying. You understand? So that was some other
That
weird
just sounds
behavior.
so
So you
weird.
get a lot of weird stuff out here. Yeah, you do. You get a lot of weird things. And so, but I cut sling load on that real quick. I said, hey, don't reach out to me again. I will not be reaching out to you, sir. Best wishes to you. And that was it.
Yeah. That the whole thing sounds weird, especially
Yeah.
I mean, I knew a realtor's job is to try and get people into a house, but when I hear like
Yes.
a relocation specialist, I think of, because my girlfriend's done this before. She
Yeah.
worked for an actual company who were
Mm-hmm.
taking in people who might have been less fortunate, who needed places to stay,
Yes.
and they would find homes for them. And if
Right.
anything, it was hard as hell to get the people who needed the places to stay to actually do what was necessary so they could
Right.
stay where they needed to at. I don't know, but that whole
Right.
thing just sounds
It
weird.
was weird. So where he got the relocation from, because part of my designation, so it's
Hmm.
broker, realtor, then MRP, which is military relocation professional. So I do
Okay.
have that designation. But the point is, he's not military, number one. Number
Right.
two, you understand? Number two, he was trying to look for a rental property, right? So I don't do rentals. I help those who want to either buy or sell real estate or,
Mhm.
land, vacant land. That's what I do. Now I initially, when I first got my license, I tried to do some rental, as far as like helping people. They'll be like, oh, can you help me find this property? You only get paid what, 10%, right? When you help someone get into a rental space. So
Right.
let's just say if we were to find a place that, is renting $500 a month, okay, I'm going to get $50. Really? Like,
Yeah,
that math ain't
that's
mathing
about
for my
it.
time,
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So that's the reason why I stopped doing that. So now I just refer people to property managers and I let them handle that.
That makes more sense. And
Hmm.
I mean, I don't know, especially since the guy was going through some mental issues because you said he
That's
was
what
a
I said.
boxer or something.
He said that he was a boxer. That's why he was, because he was shaking a lot. Even holding the
Yeah.
pistol, he was shaking and stuff. So
Yeah, that
I was
stuff
like,
ain't
okay,
easy.
yeah,
Yeah, because I know neurological issues are like really, really bad, especially for boxers. Because I think what was the guy's name? Ricky Hatton.
hmm.
He ended his life because of
Oh
his
wow,
his mental issues. So I think he needed a lot more than a realtor at that point. He
right.
needed somebody to actually get him some type of help.
It was just weird.
You would have
It
thought
was
his son would have.
his grandson or son would have helped him. That's why I was
Right.
like, oh my God, it was just weird. And so sometimes I'll get those type of weird encounters, And so what I've learned to do is once I see it, just go ahead and cease fire real quick. Like, okay,
Yeah.
you know what? You're weird. Let me go and cut you off so it doesn't get crazier, because what's so scary, right? About being a realtor and also to even being a firearms instructor, right? Your information is everywhere. It's everywhere
Mm-hmm.
online. People can Google you. You got a lot of weirdos out there that will try to
Yeah.
stalk you. They will try to, they see you online and then it's like they feel like they know you in real life, or they'll use scheduling a class just to come, just to get in your presence, just to either try to see what you got going on or try to see you in person or whatever. But it's an ulterior motive. It's not about actually coming to get trained. You can tell when somebody's there for another reason. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's
Be
that's
like,
what's scary.
hey girl, I see you like shooting guns too. I like to shoot too. You pull out a high point.
You know what I'm
I'm
saying?
not
It's
I'm not
weird,
hating on
man.
high points. If that's the best you can get, that's the best you can get. But like if
Right,
you it's high
right.
point macking. No, I don't.
Right, right. But seriously though, all jokes aside, that's what some people do. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And it's just sad. It is so sad. And on the realtor side, because I posted a video, I don't think I posted it on Instagram, but I'm gonna send it to you. Do you have TikTok?
I do. I do. Matter of fact,
Okay.
I got your number off your email. I need to text you directly. So
Okay. No problem.
yeah.
But then
Because I'm gonna
also,
have you back on the show.
okay, listen, and I'll come. You already know. Invite me, I'm here. But what I was gonna say was as far as TikTok. So follow me on TikTok. I'll definitely follow you back. And then I'll send you the video that I did on Monique Bowe. So Monique Bowe, she was a realtor, and what happened, she was lured out to a showing by a female. The female was the one
Wow.
that pretended to be a client, and so, pretended like she wanted to see this house. So Monique Bowe, she scheduled the showing. And once she got out to the showing, do you not know it was some contract killers there? They kidnapped her and unalived her.
Jesus.
I cannot make it up. Cannot make it up. And so that is what is one of the dangers when it comes to, being a realtor, because so for the people that you don't know, for those clients that you've never seen, never met a day in your life, and then they want to see a property. So in those cases, I'm already on high alert. I'm high alert from the moment I pull up. I'm high alert. You know what I mean? Like looking around,
I
scanning
don't blame
where I'm
you.
parked. Yeah, until I get it in my spirit where I feel safe, you know. So as far as like when you're going into the property, like I don't go in front of a client, never.
Mhm.
I'll have the door already unlocked before they get there in most cases, unless, it's a client that I've already been with, for a while and we're still looking for properties. And then, okay, I know they're not here to harm me, so
Mhm.
then I'll, unlock, the lock box or the super lock, and then just go ahead and I let them go in first though. Even if I do know them, I let them go in first. And so then that way I turn the lights on and then they can go in and they start to look around the property. Never stand in a position where I can be cornered in. I like to stand where I can see, the
Mhm.
entrance, the front entrance, the back entrance. I like to, stand in a position like that. So then that way, once they're done, we'll walk outside and talk about, so what did you think about the house?
That
And
makes the
then,
most sense. And
yeah, that's the best way of doing it because it's sad. And I don't show properties like if it's the winter time, I don't show properties after 5 o'clock because it starts to get dark. So after five
yep.
o'clock,
Mhm.
I don't show any properties. Now in the summertime, my latest is 6:30, 7 o'clock. I stop my showings. So they'll have to schedule the next day.
Can't say I blame you. If anything,
Mhm.
that kind of reminds me of like custody exchanges.
Yes.
Because
Oh, yes. Yes.
yeah, because there's been stories about uh mainly men. I'm pretty sure there's some stories about women out there. The
Hmm.
last one I heard of was like I can't remember where it was at, but there was a man that was trying to do a custody exchange, and the woman had actually started dating a woman, and she tried to shoot the man, but she ended up
Oh,
shot
wow.
herself. Yeah,
Wow.
it's crazy. It's like at the end of the day, you got to realize that people are moving on, people are doing their own thing.
Yeah.
Um, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're trying to get caught up in the drama that you're trying to bring. But I mean, I guess it goes
Right.
back to the decisions that were made. I don't know, and it's not just like regular everyday civilians; it's celebrities and sports
Right.
stars and everything else too, which is crazy. It's just
Right. Right.
you really gotta be careful out here, no matter what situation you're in.
That's true. And you know what? So, because I do believe that was one of your questions, because I did read over your questions before you sent them. But one of the things, as far as like being a responsible gun owner, right? You
Hmm.
have to have the right temperament. You have to have the right headspace. If you are hot-tempered, or if you are the type of person to just fly off the loose end, you know what I mean? Oh, if somebody come in
Hmm.
my house, I'm killing them. If you got that
Yep.
type of mindset, your ass is going to jail. That's just what it is,
Yeah.
right? And I
Or
see that,
worse.
or worse, or worse, or worse. Because here's the thing, and this is what I tell people all the time: no matter how tough or how much you train, it does not matter. J. Cole just said it on his recent album. He said, it doesn't matter. I learned that the hardest can always get hit. And that's so true.
Hmm.
So it doesn't matter how much you train. What does matter is your situational awareness, right? So
Yeah.
you can know how to shoot all day, but you got to get to that pistol. Okay. So if a person
That's
is
true.
is stalking you, and that usually starts online, by the way, it'll start online,
Hmm.
they'll go do their research on you, and then the next thing you know, then they move to, physically stalking you, right? And then if you're not situationally aware, you don't even know that it's occurring, right? So let's just say you in a grocery store shopping with your kids. Now, here it is, you shoot all the time, right? And I'm saying you, but in general, here it is, you have
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
person
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
shoots all the time. Now you're in a grocery store, right? And then you're just walking casually with your kids. Next thing you know, you got your brains blown out, right? Why?
Yeah.
Because of the situational awareness was down. Your guard was down.
Hmm.
And that's typically when people try to attack you the most, is when you're in a vulnerable state. They won't catch you while you're
Yep.
by yourself. They'll catch you while you're with your loved ones. They'll catch you while you're with your
Hmm.
kids, right?
Hmm.
That's what most
Yeah, there's always
predators do.
somebody close to you.
Absolutely. And also,
Hmm.
too, if they can't get to you, they'll get to whoever your loved one is.
Oh
That's the
God, yeah,
reason
that's
why
true.
you got to watch what we put online. Like before,
Hmm.
I used to post my son all the time. My sons, I would post them all the time, but I scaled back on that. And I love my babies dearly. I love my
Yes.
grandson dearly. But I understand we live in a crazy world. And so if people can't get to me, they'll get to what's closest to me. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah.
fully aware
And
of that.
and it's funny you mentioned that because like me being a father or a girl dad, if you will,
Yes.
I didn't even like when my ex would put like nail polish on her at the age of like oh God, what was it? It was a young age because she's about to be
Mm,
9 this year, so it's probably like when she was 3 or 4. But
oh,
I didn't
okay.
like it because of that
Yeah.
fact. Because like we got people on this list that nobody, the politicians or the people in charge, if you will, don't want to put out.
Yeah.
And if they got a list of higher up people, what makes you think that there's people that won't, on the lower level, if you will, that aren't doing the same thing?
Absolutely.
And I'm not trying to make it easy for either of them because
Right. That's right.
God forbid if I have to do something, I'm
Yes.
probably going to end up in jail or worse because
Yeah.
that's my daughter.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. But the thing is, like I said, and I get it. It's certain situations that we're in. If somebody's doing something to your child, absolutely, because children are
Hmm.
innocent. You know what I'm saying? So, and
Yeah.
and that's our role as parents, to protect our children. So that's
Hmm.
different. But if somebody step on my shoes, or somebody is trying to steal my car or whatever, that doesn't give
Hmm.
me the justification to take their life. Now, if it's armed robbery, that's different, because then it switches from theft to them being able to potentially end my life. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah. I
different.
mean, yeah, if they're in the area, because I remember another video that happened where The guy was at home. The thieves showed up to steal his car from his driveway. The guy actually found out they were trying to steal his car from his driveway, and he started shooting at them. And I think they shot back, and he lost his life.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah, at that point,
See
you
what
can
I'm
just say, "Hey,
saying?
look, my car was stolen. I need to make a report."
That's it.
Versus like,
That's
making
it.
another report, a death
That's
report.
it. And then we can actually depending on who you talk to, because people have different perspectives. But
Hmm.
if the threat is outside of your home, right? Because I know in North Carolina we have what's called the castle doctrine. So
Yep.
if the threat is outside of your home, you are already inside of your home, meaning that you're safe because you're inside of your property, right?
Hmm.
Why would you go outside? I don't give a damn what's going on outside. Somebody could be in my yard cussing, fussing, acting a fool. Okay, that's fine. That doesn't constitute me, just picking them off, out of my window right
Yeah.
here. That doesn't
Yeah.
constitute me doing that. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So worst case, one of my neighbors gonna call the cops on me.
Yeah.
Guarantee you.
I'm
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's like really and truthfully, now if a person crosses that threshold, right? If they cross the
Then it's
threshold,
different. Yeah.
that's different. But and it's so crazy that we're even talking about this, right? Because just yesterday I was having a conversation with a gentleman, and he was saying as far as like how he almost shot his brother. So that's why I teach my students, before you, even when you're in your house, and let's just say, someone crosses your threshold or whatever, you have to personally ID that person, because
Right.
that could be a loved one. You never know.
Right.
You see what I'm
See,
saying?
and I'm glad you brought this up because
Mm-hmm.
there's been this one thing that's been on my mind for the longest time.
Mm-hmm.
Clearing a room.
Yes.
Right. Everybody loves to post videos on it. Everybody loves to post information on it. In all
Right.
honesty, the last thing I want to do is have to clear a room because
Right.
if it's me and my family, I want to make sure that my family is in a situation where I know that if I had to pull my firearm out, it's
Yeah.
not going to affect them negatively. Like if I got my daughter visiting and she's in the room across from mine, I don't want to have to
Right.
shoot in the hallway and potentially
Right.
shoot rounds at her or another
Right.
family member or whatever.
Right.
But the whole clearing the room thing, because I look at it like this: if I'm the only one defending the house, and it's
Mm-hmm.
real easy for somebody to say, "Well, you need to train your girlfriend. You need to train your way. You train
Right.
everybody in your house to shoot a gun." Like, okay,
Right.
cool. It's
Right.
real easy to say that, but
Right.
if I am the main one that is going to protect my castle, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm putting myself in the harm's way, I don't care how well I know the layout of my house, and this is just my
Right.
opinion. You can agree with it or not, I don't know,
Yeah.
but I'm putting myself in unknown danger
Right.
because
Mm-hmm.
if I do take one person out, right,
Yeah. Yeah.
what about the other people?
Right. Right.
Is it one person? Is it two? Is it
You
five?
don't know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, if I die while I'm
Mm-hmm.
trying to clear these rooms,
Right.
I don't think that's mentally it's not gonna have a positive effect on my girlfriend who now has a
Not at
firearm
all.
who is responsible for protecting herself because she's not seeing me come back. She's seeing somebody who's not supposed to be there come back. So is she gonna
Right.
be able to fire off a round quickly,
Right.
or is the thought gonna be going through her mind and is it gonna
Mm.
slow her reflexes? I mean, there's
Yeah.
so many thoughts on it. It's like I get that it's something that people want to do, but do they really fully
Right.
think the whole situation through before they decide to do it or
That's a
post a
great
video on it?
That's a great point, man, because let me tell you something. That is so true. And I tell people all the time, the truth of the matter is this. You never know what you're going to do until you're in that situation. You can
Right.
train, you like to say what you would do or what you wouldn't do or whatever, but you don't know what you're going to do until you're in that situation. So,
Hmm.
but much to your point, if something was to happen to you, you're the protector at that point, right? So, and if something was to happen to you and there's still other perpetrators in your home, and your girlfriend, she's going to, first thing, she's going to be concerned about you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And especially if you are unalive, You know what I'm saying? That the whole emotions and everything is going to kick in too. So it's a lot. So I tell people, they like to think that, oh, I'll shoot this person or whatever. It is a lot of psychological issues that are associated with that. So unless you're ready to live with the nightmares, unless you're ready, to live with the guilt, especially if you shoot a person and you had no reason to shoot them,
Right.
you got to live with that, right? And so, and it's a lot. It's a lot. And so that's why I'm saying, shooting on a range, like you said earlier, it's LARPing at best. It's just live action role play. That's pretty much all it is. But in reality, because if you think about it, you're not going through the psychological effects when you're on a range. You're in a safe environment. I don't care what range you go to, right? At least you should be. Let me say it like this. You should be in a safe environment when you go to a range. And the reason why I say it like that is because a lot of people use ranges to commit suicide. A lot of people use ranges to commit homicides. And why do I say that? Because people that they know that they don't like you, or they know they don't, rock with you like that, but they'll try to lure you out to a range just so they can set you up for accidental shooting. If they accidentally shoot you in the middle of nowhere, and they already don't like you, that's their word against yours. Well, if you don't even make it, you know what I'm saying? They all going to corroborate and just, come up with a lie to state what happened to keep them in the clear. So that's another way of keeping yourself safe. If you get an inkling, somebody don't rock with you like that, don't go to no range around them. Just don't.
Yeah. And not just that, but it's not. And I've heard rumors of what is it? People actually trying to steal firearms from people that are leaving the range, which is crazy.
Yes. So listen, that's crazy. And it's true because, and that's the reason why I don't really like going live. Like if you look at my social media, I think I got like one, maybe two lives on there, maybe two. But I don't go live on social media because, it gives you the point, the time, the location, where you're at, you know what I mean? And so to some crazy person that's stalking your page and they want to pull up on you, they know exactly where you're at. And that particular moment. You know what I mean? So in the military, we have what's called OPSEC, operational security. So it teaches you, like to monitor what it is that you're putting online. You're like your information. Like when I go on vacation, I don't post where I'm going or where I've been until after I come back, usually.
Right. I do
so now, but in this 2A space, what you find is when you go to different events, most influencers, they'll go ahead and upload a video real quick, or they going live, they doing all this stuff. And I'm like, oh my God, you know what I mean? So sometimes people know that, oh, I see you in Atlanta, or I see you in Vegas, or whatever. They'll see that, and I didn't even post it. Someone else did.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, I've done that before at when I went to GunCon in Cleveland, Ohio, and but I went live at the event. Now where I stayed at was different. It's like whatever, and I need to do a better job picking Airbnbs because let me tell you, like I'm thinking I'm renting the whole house out. No, when I went up there, I was renting a room out.
Oh Lord!
It was a co-op room too.
They didn't.
I can't even. I think if they did, it was the price that got me. I'm like, yeah, this will work because, like, look, traveling out there and having a place to stay and renting a car and everything else, is money. So I'm like, oh, it's not bad. But I guess I must have missed room.
The fine print.
But I would, and plus the range event was like, I think about an hour away.
Yeah.
So get to the range event, film everything, do a live up there, and then come back and not cut the live on again. I really want to do GunCon again this year because, like, have you ever been?
I've never been to GunCon. Never.
I got to send in information because he's trying to recruit media right now.
Okay.
I want to go this year, but I got to see how the money is because I got to do the A regular meetup 6. That'll be my first time going.
Oh, that'll be my
And
first time going too.
really?
Yes.
Oh, cool, cool.
That's my
Okay.
first time. So I got nominated for Female Instructor of the Year. So I'll be down there for that as well.
And congratulations to you too. I'm sorry, I meant to tell you
Thank
that earlier.
you. Thank
But
you.
yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I'm
Yeah.
really looking forward to it.
Yes.
Really gonna enjoy it. I know the food out there better be good. I
It
hear.
better be. Well, it's in Florida.
Look.
So it's gonna be in Jacksonville, Florida, right? So
Hmm.
that's more north. I have family in Miramar in Broward County, so that's South Florida. So, the food is always off the chain in South Florida. It's like you left the country without
Okay.
getting your passport stamp. So I don't know how it is in Jacksonville, but I know how it is in South Florida.
Look, I'm gonna keep it to it because I'm a foodie.
Yeah.
My mom is going with me. My girl is going with me, and my mom always
Nice.
teases because my mom says she's afraid of me and my girl because we're both foodies. So she's not trying.
Aw.
She ain't trying to get no weight.
Aw,
But
that's gonna be
I,
sweet.
I think I think there was like this burger place out there where, if I'm thinking right,
Okay.
but the burger's so big you need to eat it with gloves.
Oh Lord, that's too much. Jesus, that is too much. No, no,
That's
no, no.
Look. I do burgers. I do sushi.
Really?
Um, yeah. I mean, it's just, you got to be good sushi. It's hard to find good Italian.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Pizza I can do all day as long as it's a good pizza. I mean, it's like
Right.
I have a wide variety of food that I will eat. So,
Okay.
Indian food, Jamaican food,
Yes.
you gotta have some good Jamaican food.
Gotta have some good Jamaican food.
Hmm I mean,
I
just
agree.
wide palette. I'm down for
Yes.
almost anything.
And see, and that's good, right? Because the thing is that it doesn't matter where you are, you're not gonna go starving. You know what I mean? You'll be able to
Hmm
eat and survive. Like that's how my sons are unique. So my oldest son, he's definitely the one he will eat anywhere because he's well traveled, just like my youngest son. My youngest son, he's 15, he's been to over six different countries. Well, six different countries. And then
Nice.
that's my baby. Then my oldest son, he was born in Germany, but then he's been to the Bahamas, he's been to Dubai, he's been to Thailand, he worked in Iraq, so he's well traveled too. And so, but he went to Iraq
Hmm
as a civilian. So we were both, we both have that experience in Iraq,
That
but
must have
I
been
tease him
interesting.
all the
Yeah.
time. I'm like, boo, your experience and mine is not the same. You know what I'm saying? You know
True.
what I'm
Very
saying?
true.
Totally different. Totally different. He was a
Mm,
contractor. I was a soldier. You know. So, but no, but that being well, experienced, well exposed, shall I say, that's
mm.
good because you'll go places and that means you're eager to try different things. Now, my youngest son, he's still a little finicky eater. Even though, because we just got back from Colombia in January, and so when we was down there, he was like, I was like, hey, you want to try some of the street food? And he was like, you know what I mean?
That's good.
He was like,
He must
he
have been
was,
watching the videos on YouTube.
yeah, he was like, I'll get an empanada, what
Yeah.
I'm saying, off the street. But that's about it. He was
But
like, no, we need to go to a restaurant. I was like, okay, good
yeah.
deal.
Which they had good restaurants out in Bogota. I'm not even gonna lie. Oh my
Yeah.
God, the way the
So
money stretches.
yes, I'm
Oh
telling
my
you.
God.
Man, we was in Cartagena. So and
Hmm
down there, oh my God, the money goes so far. I'm telling you,
Yes.
and the food is fresh in comparison to
Yeah.
here.
Oh my God. I
So
went to a
fresh.
grocery store there because I
Really?
the first time I went to a grocery store. I think I must have spent like, it was easily less than $40, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And it was like going shopping back in the 90s. You spend $40, the
Right.
whole cart was full. You're walking. Oh my God. And then
Right.
their food is amazing. The
Yes.
sweets are amazing.
Yes.
The
The
I
fruits.
the oh my God, the coffee, the fruits.
The
Yeah, I
fruit,
mean,
the
it didn't
coffee.
matter what the food
Yes.
was. It
Yes.
was off the chain, and it just
Yes.
very flavorful. And oh
Yes.
man, I miss
Yes. Yes.
Bogota. If only it
Yes.
wasn't for the elevation, I
Yeah.
probably would have enjoyed more of my days up there. But man.
Yeah, so oddly enough, we flew from Cartagena to Bogota. So Bogota is the capital, as you know, and so it's
Hmm
more mountainous up there. And so I don't know
Yep.
if you paid attention, the people look different in Bogota too.
Yes. Yes.
They look totally different in comparison to Cartagena. So because
Mhm.
it's warmer, it's a more warm climate, the further south that you go to Colombia. So, but I mean, it's a beautiful country. I remember before we left, and everybody's like, "Oh my God, you're gonna go to Colombia? You know what's going on in Venezuela?" I was like, Venezuela and Colombia is two different countries. The hell are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? It's not the same.
Yeah. I mean, like
now
it'd probably be something I would probably consider. I mean, with everything going on, but like back then, it's like, okay, we know that the bad guys are staying over there,
right?
We won't be staying over here.
That's right.
I mean, when I went, we stayed in the Airbnb where there was an armed guard at the door, and he had to buzz you in. So it's not like there was somebody waiting with a billy club around the corner, somebody had a AK-74, AKM, whatever, waiting on you. Like, you got the money? Okay, we got you now.
Right.
Like,
right. And see, and that's how, so where my son and I stayed, we stayed at Hotel Marquis. And so it was a older Spanish home. And so it only had 7 rooms. So it was only 7 rooms in the entire, hotel. So it was a boutique hotel. So, and we would go downstairs, get our food, sit in the restaurant and eat. I mean, it was like family, you know what I mean? We dancing salsa, merengue, bachata, we just having a good old time. My son's at the bar. He's 15, he at the bar getting a virgin pina colada, so he just living his best life. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, so it was fun. It was fun and safe.
Yes. And don't get me wrong. If I don't want to do anything, I'll go to a good resort,
Oh yeah.
I mean, like, I don't want to have to look for food. I don't have to worry about transportation, whatever, resort all day. Cool. But like, as far as experiencing like other cultures, like I had my honeymoon in Dominican Republic, but it was at a resort.
Okay.
No. I
No.
mean, so it was weird because they were saying that I think the Spanish own majority of the resorts down there.
Right.
And as far as actually getting real Dominican cuisine, you had to leave the resort in order to get it. The resort had like Italian, Japanese, Mexican, just your basic staples that you can get out, at a fast food restaurant. Right. Right.
Yeah.
Right. And it just there was something interesting where you could tell the workers weren't happy about what was going on. Because it was bright and early in the morning. We're stopping to get some coffee, and then the barista that was behind the counter, she was like, ah, and then everybody's told that they got to say excelente. I don't know what happened. Maybe one of the customers up there had said something smart or whatever. But my at the time wife was like, "Are you okay?" And she was like, "Excelente, excelente." Like,
like I don't even want to be here.
Right. Right.
Oh my God.
So that I mean, resorts are great, but like going places like going to St. Martin and like actually being in the populace, or like going to Japan and being in the populace, Korea, just being out there. And it was funny. Korea was awesome.
Let me tell you, I spent a year in Korea. I was stationed in Daegu. It used to be called Daegu back in the day, but now it's Daegu. So I was down there. I stayed right outside of Camp Walker, but I was on Camp Henry is where I was stationed at when I was there. So yeah, I was in Korea from 2012 to 2013.
Nice. Did you ever go to a sandwich shop called Isaac's? I don't know if that was around that time.
Wait a minute. Was that outside of Camp Walker?
I think it's like a whole sandwich chain where it's like they make breakfast sandwiches.
Okay, so no. So I don't think I've been to Isaac's because like I said, I lived in Deontay is where I lived. And so right outside of Camp Walker, they have a strip that's there, and they had a sandwich shop there. I couldn't remember the name of it, but they had some really good sandwiches in there. Now, what I did enjoy in Korea were their beef and leaves. So I would go and get the beef and leaves, where they get the lettuce, and they cook the meat right there in front of you, and they give you the rice, and you just take the meat and you put it inside the lettuce wrap and you wrap it up. So I would go to those.
I've eaten that before, but I hadn't had it in Korea, but it's good.
I'm
Oh
telling you,
my
and
God.
it's healthy too if you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's healthy
Well,
because it's no bread.
mm-hmm.
One thing I love about the Asian culture is that like just how their diet is. They don't really
Yeah.
eat a whole lot of junk, and they stay away from a lot of bread too.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I actually enjoy that culture. And my family is a melting pot too. So my oldest son, his father is Chinese and Black. So,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and then my other son, he's a great blend of everything, and so then we have Panamanian, we have Black, we got Indian, it's just so many, it's just a big melting pot,
Mm.
so when everybody gets together, it's just like, oh my God, you know,
We gonna
what's
eat
going
good.
like we're gonna eat good. We're gonna eat real good. Shout out to Johnny Gun Game. He came down here for Thanksgiving, and he got to meet my family. He got to meet my godmother, who's 90 years old. He got to meet my sister-in-law, which is my brother's wife, and he got to meet my nephew Santana. So just it was just so lovely. We had so much food, and we just really had a good time.
That's how it should be.
Yes,
Man.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Like, I know I'm gonna have to let you go. Hmm?
We
I'm
try to
sorry?
show, I said, we try to show Southern hospitality when people come down. You know what I mean?
That's how it should be. I'm about to let you go soon. It's hard to look.
I
We
know.
gonna
Look,
mess
we
up.
have been on here for 2 hours. Listen, I got
I'm
to send you an
sorry.
invoice. No, I'm just playing.
Well,
I'm
look,
just playing.
let me hit you with one more question then.
Sure.
Probably one of the most important ones that could
Okay.
uh where do you see LaBleu Tactical Training heading in the next few years?
Oh, Lord. Well, I think, I don't know, because, I'm already 47. So I don't know. I'll probably give this about another good, I don't know, another good 2 or 3 years. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because this isn't something that you just do forever. You know what I mean? Like I said, it started out as a hobby. I'll always love to shoot, but as far as it being a business, and here's the reason why I say it, right? Because when you're a firearms instructor, yes, social media makes it look cool, but it's really dangerous. It's really
Mm,
dangerous. You don't know when you're dealing with the general public, you don't know their mental state when they come to you. Even I
true.
don't care how many forms you have them fill out, people lie all the time. So
Oh,
you don't
true,
know.
true.
And I like to talk about Chris Kyle because that's how he got murdered, right?
Mm,
Whole veteran, did all kind of cool stuff, still ended up coming back getting unalived by a veteran, right?
mm.
On a range, mind you. And
Yes,
why? Because he
yes.
let his guard down. So that goes to my point that I was talking about earlier. It doesn't matter how much you train, you know what I'm saying? Or all it takes is for you to let your guard down. That's all
This
it
is
takes.
true.
You know what I mean? And the coldest killers can get it. You know what I mean? So that's
Yeah.
just the reality of it, right? So for me, is it really worth it? No, it's not.
Mm.
I'm at that age where, hey, it's time to enjoy the fruits of my labor. You understand what I'm saying? That's what it's about.
That's fair
Once my
enough.
house is paid off, which I'm close to doing that, my car is already paid off. But once my home is paid off, oh my God, you're gonna see, I'm gonna be everywhere. So, yeah, you think I'm everywhere now? I'm really about to be everywhere. I'm about to be
So we would never
outside.
we we would never see like a LaBleu consulting or like a LaBleu security or
Now that's a good one. I'm glad you put that in my spirit. Now, LaBleu Consulting, I could do that. I could do
I mean
LaBleu
there's a ring to
Consulting.
it as well, you know.
I like the ring, LaBleu Consulting. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna write that down. Let me write that down before I forget. Hey, listen, I'm gonna give you your kudos too, brother. I'm gonna give it to you. I promise I'm gonna give it to you. Yeah, okay. That's you know what? That's not a bad idea. I like that. I like that. That boy good. That boy good. So yes, indeed. Yes.
Awesome. Well, I hope that happens then. I mean, there you go. I just answered your question for you.
Yes, you did. You answered it for me. Thank you
Potentially.
so much.
That's why people come to the Black Panther podcast.
That's
I help them
exactly
out.
why. I'm gonna tell a friend to tell a friend and tell another friend. That's what I'm gonna do. That's
It,
what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna do.
it
But
it has been very fun having you on here.
Thank you.
Definitely gonna have you come back because like
Of course. Of
I got
course.
some future shows.
Okay.
I got some shows coming out that's gonna talk about school shooting prevention,
Oh, yes.
just like involving some of the serious topics that most people don't think that we talk about it in two-way space. So
Okay.
there's always the stereotypical stuff. So if you're
Yeah.
interested, I got your
Yes.
contact information. I'm gonna shoot you some
Yes.
messages.
Okay.
I'm trying to work with Solomon, so you
Okay.
may do some cross-platform stuff with him.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get this going, and I'm
Okay.
back to the grind.
Yes. Make sure you tell that big head I said, what's up?
I
When you
can't
see
call him
him.
no big headed.
I know, I know, I know. It's all
That's something
love.
the ladies say. If I call him big head, they're gonna leave.
I know, I know, I know. You can tell him I said. You can
What
tell
did
him.
you say?
You can say LaShonda said. What's up, big head? No, no, but it's all love though. It's all love,
I gotta I gotta say that with so much bass in my voice, like Shauna said, "What's up, big head?"
Big head. I know. But it's a pleasure, brother. I'm telling you, I so look forward to meeting you, your girlfriend, your mom. I look forward to meeting you all in Jacksonville for the ARM Awards.
Yes,
So
it's
it's gonna
gonna be
be a good
fun.
time. Yes.
Yes, before you leave, let everybody know where they can find you at, your socials, your
You know,
website.
you know where you can find me. No, I'm just so you can find me on any social media platform. Well, not any. IG is True LaBleu or LaBleu Tactical Training. Facebook is LaShonda Hopkins or True LaBleu Tactical Training. I'm sorry, LaBleu Tactical Training on the Facebook side. I have a business page too. So and then on TikTok is True LaBleu 5. So you can follow me on any of those platforms. You can Google my website. And so then that way you'll see how you can get in contact with me as well. My phone number, email, all that stuff is on there.
And I am gonna see if I'm finding you on TikTok, and I'll
Find me
shoot
on
you a text
TikTok.
message in a minute.
Find me on TikTok. Ooh, ooh. Listen,
You better
TikTok be
know.
tripping too. TikTok, I'm telling you, they
Look,
be tripping. Some of my videos I post, do you not know the same video I posted on IG with Paul from when
mm-hmm,
I came back from his run? And I didn't think it was nothing wrong with the video. Them jokers
mm-hmm.
said that I violated community guidelines. I was like, what?
Yeah, that sounds about right. I got a video on there right now, and I think I got a strike because of it. And it was
What?
empty firearm. I was just changing out a something on the barrel. I changed that one compensator for another one, and they're
Okay.
like, "It's dangerous.
What?
Taking it down." Yeah, I didn't shoot it. I didn't pull the trigger. I was
Wow.
holding it safely. Um,
Wow.
it's actually maybe if their stuff is similar to YouTube's,
Mm-hmm.
um, I think I get it because I just had a conference with a bunch of YouTube people and
Okay.
actual YouTube representatives,
Okay.
and they kind of laid down a law as far as like what'll get your video flagged, what'll get your video taken down, or what's okay.
Okay.
Um, for the most part, it basically sounds like as long as you're using common sense about what you're posting. So
Okay.
like if you have magazines that are over 30 rounds,
Mm-hmm.
30 rounds being the maximum, your video is going to get taken down. If you have 30 plus one, you say I have 30 plus one, then your video is going to get taken down. If you
Wow.
change out if you put a what do you call it, a suppressor on your firearm and you're actually screwing it onto your firearm, it's going to get
Oh.
taken down.
Oh
Yeah,
my
because
God. Oh my
yeah. So like if you have it, if you have everything pre-set up, that's one thing. So like if you got the firearm with the suppressor on there, okay, cool. If you have 30 plus one and you just say this is a regular magazine, if you don't say anything about the one in the chamber, you're good. I mean, it's almost like you got to be commonsensical about it. Like you can field strip a firearm, but you can't like if I were to take this
Reassemble
this
it.
echelon frame and like put it back together and
Yeah.
said, "This is me putting the echelon frame back together," that's one thing. But if I was like
Okay.
taking an echelon frame and saying, "And now we're gonna make it a full auto machine gun," I mean, yeah, that's obviously gonna get,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. For sure.
So it's
For
like
sure.
it gotta be a little smart about what you do, you know?
So oddly enough, because so back to that video, and I'll make it quick because we almost at 9 o'clock. But really, really quick. And it's way past my bedtime. Let me tell you. Listen,
I gotta eat. I ain't even lie.
I'm auntie status. I get to bed early and I wake up early too. So, but anyway,
look, I'm about to eat this ramen noodle packet.
Okay. Listen, ain't nothing wrong with the little oodles and noodles. Okay. But what I was gonna say was the video that I posted of Paul though. So none of us, we weren't holding firearms or nothing. Like the firearms were holstered. It was nothing. It was literally, just us at the range. I mean, just at the range. It was nothing crazy. So, and it got flagged, for violating community guidelines. Now, much to your point with the suppressor, I did a reel today in honor of Women's History Month, honoring Ida B. Wells, and the firearms, the rifles, and the pistols that I'm holding, they're suppressed. Everything's suppressed, right? And that didn't get flagged. But what I do notice is it didn't get flagged, but any firearms video, I don't know if you noticed, it doesn't get the traction that it should get. Because like I'll post me golfing and I'll get like 6,000 viewers. You know what I'm saying? Or, but then if I post something dealing with firearms, I might get 120 viewers or, 200.
I think they like throttle it on the back end or something because they're like, is it shadow ban and stuff?
Yes. So, yes. That's exactly what
that's what's happening.
Yeah. So now IG pushes, firearm content. Facebook, even on Facebook, they don't really push it that much. And that's across the platform. I don't care. Like if you look at like some gun tumors with, like a lot of following, right? It just doesn't get pushed the way that it should,
Oh, I think they almost shut down Hickok 45. And he's been doing that for, years. They took down some of his videos on YouTube.
Wow. Isn't that sad?
Yeah, it's gun grandpa right there. And, he was one of the reasons why I got a couple of my firearms. And,
it's crazy, man. Listen, hey, who said that? Who said it best? You can have all the chips, be poor or rich, still nobody want to having shit. That was Nas, If I Rule the World. Okay, with Lauryn Hill. That is so true. Nobody wants you having nothing. You know what I mean? So it is what it is.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Yeah.
You go ahead and get your sleep.
Yes, thank you.
We will talk later.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Oh, you coming back?
Listen, next time I'm bringing some snacks. Well, and next time it ain't gonna be no 2 hours. Now we need to shorten this down.
Well, okay, fine. Well, look, I will Amazon you some snacks if you send me some Blenheim's ginger ale. Yeah, I know about that stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Fair I know about it. It's hard to get some out here.
I know. I got you. All right. Well, you have a nice evening. Thank you so much. And I'm gonna do some snippets. So whenever you break it down, just send some to me and I'll post it. Because I didn't even advertise. I should have advertised this tonight. I didn't get a flyer or do a flyer. I meant to.
You're fine. I don't know what I had, but I don't want it again because I was down for like almost a week, almost 2 weeks.
Gotcha.
So I think it was that flu that was going around.
Yes.
Yeah. Nope. Don't get it.
No, listen, I already got the flu this year. I already had the flu. January, before my birthday, I had the freaking flu. New Year's. I entered the new year with the flu. So trust me, I don't want it again. I'm telling you. So I already know.
You had that old flu from last year. This the new flu, son.
Right. Exactly. Listen, I ain't gonna wish you flu. Look, I don't want the old flu, new flu. I don't want none of it.
Look, I ain't even bad about it.
Yes. Well, listen, they look like we both can talk, and which is great because that's great for a podcast, right?
That's how it works.
That's how it works. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. But I promise you, I'm gonna let you go.
Right, I was about to say, you better get off here and go get some sleep. All right.
Okay. All right. Talk to you later.
All right. You be safe.
All right. You too. Bye bye.
This the Black Powder Podcast, let's get it split. We got the wisdom hitting targets with a marksman precision. We're having fun in the booth, we're running gun for the truth. Every future black gun owner, we're spreading the news. We do it legal, we're moving regal and blessing the people. Some hopes for the culture, we keep it locked like guns in our holster. Holding it down as we're loading the rounds. If they were nervous back then they're gonna be scared of us now. Black Powder Podcast, we'll be back in a while.